Recently, Elon Musk said something that didn't get enough attention. During a podcast, he casually mentioned there's a growing convergence between Tesla, SpaceX, and xAI. Not partnership, not collaboration, convergence. That word matters, because here's what most people missed. This isn't hypothetical future talk. It's already happening. xAI merged with X earlier this year. SpaceX just invested $2 billion in xAI. Walter Isaacson, who wrote Musk's biography and knows him better than almost anyone, just said a merger between Tesla and xAI is probable in the long term. And now, Musk just registered trademarks for something called Galaxy Mind and Galactica. New company, new product, nobody knows yet. But when you connect all these dots, what emerges isn't a collection of separate companies. It's something bigger, something we've never really seen before. Let me show you what's actually happening here. Before we dive into the specifics, let's talk about what convergence actually means in this context. Because Musk isn't using that word casually. In business, companies usually stay separate even when they're owned by the same person. Amazon owns Whole Foods, but they're separate companies. Facebook owns Instagram and WhatsApp, but they operate independently. That's the normal model. You have a parent company that owns subsidiaries, but each subsidiary has its own leadership, its own operations, its own identity. What Musk is describing is different. Convergence means the boundaries between these companies are blurring. They're starting to function as one integrated system, rather than separate entities. Think about it like this. Right now, you might use your Tesla to drive to a SpaceX launch, while your Neuralink chip helps you control the car, and xAI's Grok gives you information through your Tesla's screen. That's all separate products from separate companies. But in a converged system, those aren't separate anymore. Your Tesla is part of a mobility network, powered by AI from xAI, using satellite internet from SpaceX's Starlink, with data processing happening across all of Musk's infrastructure. It's one ecosystem, not separate products. And that convergence? It's already started. Let me show you what's already happened that most people didn't pay attention to. Let's start with what's already merged, because this isn't future speculation. These are done deals that already happened. In March of this year, 2025, xAI acquired X. Not partnered with, not invested in, acquired. The company formerly known as Twitter is now owned by xAI, Musk's artificial intelligence company. That transaction was structured as an all-stock deal, which means X shareholders got xAI shares in exchange. Why does this matter? Because X has hundreds of millions of users generating massive amounts of data every single day. That data is incredibly valuable for training AI models. By merging X into xAI, Musk created a situation where his AI company has access to one of the world's largest real-time data streams of human conversation, behavior, and interests. Grok, which is xAI's AI chatbot, is now deeply integrated into X. When you use X, you're interacting with Grok. When Grok learns, it's learning from X's data. They're not separate anymore. They're one system. Then, in October, we learned that SpaceX invested $2 billion in xAI. That's a massive investment. SpaceX is a private company valued at something like $180 billion. They don't throw around $2 billion casually. This isn't a small bet. It's a major strategic move. But here's what makes it interesting. This isn't just financial investment. According to reports, part of the deal involves SpaceX and xAI sharing technology and infrastructure. xAI is using SpaceX's Starlink satellite network for connectivity. SpaceX is using xAI's artificial intelligence for various operational systems. And there's more. xAI bought massive amounts of NVIDIA processors for their Colossus data center in Memphis. Some of those processors, they're being used to process data for SpaceX operations. The line between where xAI ends and SpaceX begins is getting blurry. Now, Tesla hasn't officially merged with anything yet, but the connections are already there. Tesla uses AI extensively for full self-driving. That AI development increasingly involves xAI's technology and infrastructure. Tesla's Optimus humanoid robot project uses artificial intelligence that's being developed in coordination with xAI. During Tesla's recent shareholder meeting, there was even a proposal for Tesla to invest $5 billion in xAI. That vote is still pending, but the fact that it's even being proposed tells you where this is headed. And then there's Neuralink. The brain-computer interface company hasn't merged with anything yet, but think about what it does. It connects human brains to computers. In a converged ecosystem, Neuralink becomes the interface layer. It's how humans directly connect to the AI systems running across all of Musk's other companies. So we've got X merged into xAI, SpaceX heavily invested in and sharing infrastructure with xAI, Tesla moving toward deeper integration with xAI, Neuralink positioned as a future interface layer. This is already happening. It's not hypothetical. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Just recently, Musk registered trademarks for two new names, Galaxy Mind and Galactica. Nobody knows what these are yet. The trademark filings don't give much detail, but when you register a trademark, you have to specify what category of products or services it's for. These filings cover categories including artificial intelligence, space technology, communications, and computing infrastructure. Galaxy Mind, Galactica. Those names tell you something, right? They're not product names. They're not app names. They sound like umbrella brands, names for an entire ecosystem. There's speculation that Galaxy Mind might be the name for the converged AI system that runs across all of Musk's companies. One unified artificial intelligence that powers Tesla's self-driving, SpaceX's operations, X's content moderation and recommendations, Neuralink's brain interfaces, everything. Galactica might be the name for the broader network. The satellite constellation, the ground stations, the data centers, all the infrastructure that connects everything together. This is speculation, but it fits the pattern, because if you're converging multiple companies into one ecosystem, you eventually need a name for that ecosystem. You need an identity that encompasses all of it. And here's what's telling. Musk didn't file these trademarks under Tesla or SpaceX or xAI. He filed them under a new entity structure. That suggests these aren't products from existing companies. There's something new that sits above the existing companies. Walter Isaacson, who spent years researching Musk for his biography, said in a recent interview that he believes a formal merger between Tesla and xAI is probable in the long term. Isaacson is careful with his words. He doesn't speculate wildly. If he's saying it's probable, he's seen enough to believe it's a real possibility. So we've got existing mergers, ongoing integration, mysterious new trademarks, and Musk's biographer saying more mergers are coming, the pieces are coming together. Let's talk about how this actually works as a system, because when you map out all the connections, you start to see something that's never really existed before. Start with data and AI. xAI is the brain. It's developing the artificial intelligence that powers everything. That AI is trained on data from X, which gives it real-time understanding of human behavior and language. It processes information using SpaceX's satellite network for connectivity. It runs on infrastructure that spans multiple companies. Now add mobility. Tesla isn't just a car company anymore, they're building a robotics company. The Optimus robot uses similar AI to Tesla's vehicles. Both are learning from the same data, improving from the same algorithms. In a converged system, Tesla becomes the ground-based mobility and robotics layer. Then there's space and communications. SpaceX provides the satellite infrastructure through Starlink. That's not just internet connectivity. It's the communications backbone for the entire system. Your Tesla connects through Starlink. Your Neuralink implant might eventually communicate through Starlink. Remote Optimus robots could be controlled through Starlink. It's the nervous system of the ecosystem. Neuralink is the interface. Right now, brain-computer interfaces are in very early stages. But in the long term, Neuralink becomes how humans directly access this entire ecosystem. You don't type or speak to the AI. You think, and the AI responds. You don't manually control your Tesla or your Optimus robot. You think about where you want to go or what you want done. And it happens. The boring company, which people forget about, handles underground transportation and infrastructure. In a fully converged system, that's part of the mobility network too. Here's what this looks like in practice. Imagine it's 2035. You're wearing a Neuralink device. You think about needing to go somewhere. The AI running on xAI's systems with data from X understanding context immediately processes that request. It summons a Tesla robotaxi through the mobility network. The vehicle navigates using AI trained across millions of miles from the entire Tesla fleet. It communicates through SpaceX's Starlink satellites. While you're in the vehicle, you're interacting with AI assistants that knows everything about you because it's the same AI system integrated across all your devices and services. When you get to your destination, an Optimus robot might help carry your bags or perform some task you needed done. All of this is powered by one integrated system, one AI, one network, or one ecosystem. That's what convergence means. Now, you might be thinking this sounds like science fiction, but every piece of this already exists in some form. Neuralink has working brain implants. Tesla has working full self-driving and working robots. SpaceX has working satellite internet. xAI has working artificial intelligence. X has hundreds of millions of users. The technology exists. What's happening now is integration, connecting all these pieces into one system, and that's what Musk's comments about convergence are referring to. So why does this matter? Why should anyone care that Elon Musk is merging his companies? First, there's the monopoly question. When one person or one company controls mobility, space infrastructure, artificial intelligence, brain-computer interfaces, and social media, that's an enormous concentration of power. We've seen antitrust concerns about companies like Google and Amazon that dominate one or two sectors. This would be control across multiple fundamental sectors simultaneously. If your car, your internet, your AI assistant, and potentially even your brain interface all come from the same ecosystem, what happens if you get locked out? What happens if the company decides to change terms of service? What happens if there's a security breach? The level of dependence is unlike anything we've seen before. Second, there's the innovation question. Monopolies tend to reduce innovation because they don't face competitive pressure. If Musk's converged ecosystem becomes dominant, does that stifle competition in AI, in electric vehicles, in space technology? Or does the integration create synergies that actually accelerate innovation faster than separate companies could? Third, there's the geopolitical dimension. If one private company controls critical infrastructure spanning multiple sectors, what's the relationship between that company and governments? SpaceX already has major contracts with the US government. Starlink is being used in military operations. If all of this converges under one umbrella, that's not just a company. That's basically a private technology state. Fourth, there's the data privacy issue. A converged system means data flows freely between all the components. Your Tesla knows where you drive. X knows what you post and who you interact with. xAI learns from all of that. Neuralink might eventually know your thoughts. In a merged system, all of that data potentially exists in one place. The privacy implications are massive. And fifth, there's the simple question of whether this is good or bad for consumers. Does integration create a better user experience? Does it make technology more accessible and affordable? Or does it create vendor lock-in where switching away becomes essentially impossible? These aren't hypothetical questions. They're real concerns that regulators are going to have to grapple with. The Federal Trade Commission, the European Union's antitrust authorities, other regulatory bodies around the world are going to be looking at this very carefully. But here's the interesting thing. This might not actually be illegal. Unlike traditional monopolies that grow by acquiring competitors, Musk is merging companies he founded and owns. He's not buying out competition. He's integrating his own separate ventures. The antitrust laws aren't really written for this situation. And there's a counter-argument that integration is necessary. If you're trying to solve problems like sustainable transport, space exploration, and artificial intelligence safety, maybe you need one coordinated system, rather than separate companies pulling in different directions. Maybe convergence is more efficient. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, I'm saying it's complicated. This isn't clearly good or clearly bad. It's genuinely unprecedented, and we don't really know how it plays out. So what's the end game here? Where is this convergence headed? Based on Musk's statements over the years, the ultimate goal seems to be creating a self-sustaining, interplanetary, technological civilization. That's not my interpretation. That's literally what he said. Tesla and the Boring Company handle Earth-based transport. SpaceX handles space transport and communications. xAI provides the intelligence layer. Neuralink connects humans to that intelligence. X provides the communication and coordination platform. All of these pieces together create the infrastructure for humanity to become a multi-planetary species. In this vision, the convergence isn't just a business strategy, it's necessary for the mission. You can't build Mars colonies with separate, uncoordinated companies. You need integrated systems where the vehicles, the communications, the AI, the life support, everything works together seamlessly. Whether you believe in that vision or not, it's clearly what's driving the strategy. Musk isn't building companies to maximize quarterly profits. He's building infrastructure for a specific long-term vision. The Galaxy Mind and Galactica trademarks might be the names for this converged system. One unified brand that encompasses everything. Instead of saying you use Tesla and SpaceX and xAI, you'd say you use Galaxy Mind, or Galactica, or whatever the ecosystem ends up being called. Now, there are a lot of obstacles to this vision. Regulatory approval for mergers isn't guaranteed. Shareholders might not approve all these deals. The technology might not integrate as smoothly as planned. Competitors might create alternative ecosystems. Governments might regulate this more heavily. But if you look at what's already happened, the momentum is clearly in the direction of convergence. xAI and X are already merged. SpaceX is heavily invested in xAI. Tesla is moving toward deeper AI integration. The pieces are coming together. And here's what's interesting about the timeline. These moves are accelerating. The xAI and X merger happened this year. The SpaceX investment in xAI happened this year. The new trademark filings are recent. This isn't a slow, decades-long process. It's happening fast. By the end of 2026, we might see formal mergers between Tesla and xAI. We might see Galaxy Mind or Galactica launch as unified brands. We might see Neuralink integrate more deeply with the other companies. The converged ecosystem might become a reality much sooner than people expect. So that's what's happening with Elon Musk's companies. It's not just business as usual. It's a fundamental transformation from separate companies to one converged ecosystem. Yesterday's podcast comment about growing convergence between Tesla, SpaceX, and xAI wasn't casual small talk. It was confirming what's already happening behind the scenes. The mergers, the investments, the infrastructure sharing, it's all part of a deliberate strategy to integrate everything. Whether this is good or bad, whether it succeeds or fails, whether regulators allow it or block it, those are all open questions. But what's not in question is that it's happening. The convergence is underway. The company structures we're used to, where businesses stay separate even under one owner, that model doesn't apply here. Musk is building something different, not a conglomerate of separate companies. An integrated ecosystem where the boundaries disappear. That's unprecedented for private companies at this scale. We don't really have a framework for understanding it yet. Is it a company? Is it an ecosystem? Is it a platform? Is it infrastructure? It's kind of all of those things at once. What happens next depends on a lot of factors. Regulatory decisions, technology development, market acceptance, competitive responses. But the direction is clear. Musk isn't building companies anymore. He's building an empire. That's the situation with the convergence of Musk's companies. If you want to stay updated as this develops, subscribe, because this is going to be one of the biggest business stories of the next few years. Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Is this convergence a good thing? Is it concerning? Should regulators step in? I'll catch you in the next one.